Hello, I'm Dr. Tina Ray. I'm an educational and child psychologist. Today, I want to share with you my Share Your Calm plan. I think this is something that will hopefully be very useful to many of us who are looking after children and young people at this time, attempting to continue to navigate our way through this COVID pandemic. So here's the plan itself. Share your calm plan. So important that initially we have found our own sense of calm, that we're regulated. This is vital in these times when there's such a heightened level of anxiety for so many of us. So in order to be able to share our calm, we need to obviously have found it first. So please make reference back to my Find Your Calm plan in conjunction with this one. But today the focus is on Share Your Calm plan. I'll go through each one in turn now. So initially, very, very important about focusing on what we can control. We know that people who are anxious generally feel a sense of being out of control, and feeling out of control really kind of increases levels of anxiety significantly. So finding the focus and really ensuring that the focus is on what we can actually control, such as hand washing, keeping ourselves clean, following all the rules and regulations around social distancing. So behaving in a way that keeps us all safe. That's something that we absolutely can control. So being very clear about this with the child so that we're not catastrophizing, we're not blowing things out of proportion, but we're being able to celebrate being safely with friends and learning again as we go back into our school and learning contexts. Supporting your child to identify 3 positives at the end of each day is also really, really helpful. At night time, very often a child will go to bed and their focus will be on the things that went wrong that day, or the worries that they have about the next day, their fears, their concerns, their anxieties. So ending the day on something really, really positive can be very, very helpful. So just making up that good news book, a wee book that they can colour in, that they can write down their positives, very, very important. And talk about those last thing at night with them. I think it's really, really important that we don't ever dismiss a child's worries. Really important that they feel validated and heard, that we've actually said, yes, we can see that you're anxious. We're here for you. We're going to make sure that we're safe together. I think it's really, really important because if we dismiss them, the child then internalizes them and the worries become bigger and bigger. And what might seem a small worry to us may feel huge to that child. So it's really important we listen, we understand, we empathize with them, we validate it, that it's normal to feel like this, it's okay. But what's not okay is to feel so anxious all of the time and not share it. So helping them to reframe some of those negative thoughts, challenging them gently, knowing that, you know, what you think is not always a fact, it's not always true. Where's the evidence for that? It might be a lot less than you actually think. So really helping them to challenge and cognitively reframe. Regulating together is really essential, that level of co-regulation. Let's hold our hands together, both of us. Let's engage in that deep breathing so that we can feel a sense of calm. So you might want to just research or make use of things that you know that you use for yourself anyway, such as grounding, visualization, deep breathing. But doing it together, modeling it, co-regulation is an absolute essential. Exercise is also incredibly helpful. We know about the endorphin factor, those happy chemicals that are produced if we exercise and get a wee bit out of breath. So very, very important in terms of calming our nervous system. So factoring in that outdoor play activities that really get the child's heart racing is really important. It's also essential that for us as the adults, the carers, that we really do take time out for ourselves so that we can find our sense of calm. It's essential. It's not a selfish act. We know that we can only effectively support a child who's dysregulated to become regulated if we're able to model it. We need to find our own sense of calm first before we can share it. Try more regularly, I think, particularly at this current time, to really observe how your child is breathing. Are they breathing shallowly from the top of their chest, which you do when you're anxious? help them to think about this and really get them to stop taking deep breaths when it becomes shallow or tight. Prompt them to do this, or use 5-finger breathing, where you breathe in and out, in and out, in and out, as you trace around your hand. Very useful, particularly for younger children. Also important and vital, in my view, to understand that it's normal for us all to feel anxious. Normalize this. It's okay. All right, it's fine. Things will get better. What we mustn't do is lose a sense of hope and optimism. So going back and reliving some of the positives from the past, the happy times, reinforcing those and knowing that they will happen again, and we can make them happen together. Regulate regularly with the child at key points during the school day, before the school day starts, perhaps in the morning before you leave the house, in the evening after school, but encourage the child to do their grounding or their visualization regularly themselves as they go through the day, at moments when they feel slightly more challenged or worried or concerned. It might be helpful also to keep a self-regulation diary or log. So journaling, how I'm looking after myself, what I'm doing and what works, when it worked well, what perhaps I need to do more or differently next time I feel that level of anxiety. Comforting is clearly an essential. We love our children. We need to let them know that. We need to give them those physical hugs that they will be missing from their friends and from other relatives at this time because of social distancing measures that we have in place. So really, really important. Cuddles and kind words always help. And accepting your child in the moment is also very, very important. Encouraging them to have some self-compassion, knowing that they're not going to get it right all the time, and that's okay. It's fine. If you feel angry with yourself, if you get upset, you do things wrong, you get distressed about something, it's okay to be scared or angry and to vent. But it's not okay to bottle it up. And it's not okay, obviously, if you're venting to hurt someone else. You need to find appropriate ways to do that. And don't lose hope. It's really, really important. Looking for the positives every single day. What did work well? And making a wee list to remind them these happy moments can stay with us. They can be revisited. We can ground ourselves back into those good times, knowing that we will have them again in the future. So positives, ending each day on a positive, absolutely essential. Helping the child as well manage and develop their well-being plan is really important. People who are anxious, generally children in particular, need to be encouraged to reminded to understand that connection between engaging in really pleasurable activities that make us feel good, that are fun, that are relaxing, and the way in which that impacts on us in terms of our ability to self-regulate, our happiness levels, our happiness quotient. There's a direct link, we know that. So moments of what Martin Seligman calls flow, when we're in the moment in time, engaging in something creative or physical, sporting, rugby, football, painting, singing, but we don't notice time passing. Children who get stressed and anxious need to be encouraged to factor those moments in to their daily routine. So timetabling them in. So factoring in what I call the fun, factor in the fun, do that with your child so that they can really enjoy themselves whilst regulating their nervous system. So share your calm plan. If you follow me on Twitter, you will find a copy of this, obviously. So please do go and have a look for that, and you can print it off and obviously make use of it. You'll find also reference to most of my plans in the new publications from Hinton House Publishers. And these are a recovery toolbox of wellbeing, 3 separate books for these particular age groups, 3 to 6, 7 to 11, and 12 to 16. So packed full of really practical, user-friendly, evidence-based activities and resources and strategies to support our children as they recover very often, I think, from many of the traumas and anxieties they will have experienced during this whole last period of the COVID pandemic. So I'm hoping that you'll find these really helpful. Thank you very much for listening, and I hope you'll join me again in the future.